Just a few years ago, when the rest of the country was experiencing a real estate boom, the economy in North Dakota was flat. People were just getting by. But now, thanks to the discovery of oil, the town is now changing. It is booming, and people there say it's about time. Stanley, North Dakota, a farming town of about 1,000 near the Canadian border.
Drive by Stanley, you'll blink, you'll miss it.
It's hard to miss what's happening here now.
I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of wells.
Everywhere we went, the talk was about black gold, oil that's sitting nearly 2 miles beneath the surface.
The continual amount of oil we find in North Dakota is as much as 3 times as much as in Texas.
It's called the Bakken Formation, a vast 200,000 square mile area from North Dakota to Montana and into Canada, rich with more than 3 billion barrels of crude. It was discovered in the 50s, but it wasn't until recently that the oil companies had the technology to drill both vertically and horizontally to get it out of the ground.
Oil field has blessed us. We're making lots of money.
Stanley's mayor is still reeling from the boom that started just 8 months ago.
I'm fairly certain that if they drilled a well here, they'd have oil. You know,
right where we're standing.
Yes.
It's no secret that an eastern Montana oil field has grown to be considered one of the largest oil fields in the continental United States. But now a new report says current technology allows for even more oil to be tapped out of the so-called Bakken Formation. According to a new report released by the U.S. Geological Survey, the government now estimates that up to 4.3 billion barrels of oil can be recovered from the area. That's 25 times greater than a report done by the USGS back in 1995 that placed that estimate at only 151 million barrels of recoverable oil. The U.S. Geological Survey is now calling the Bakken Formation the largest continuous oil accumulation it's ever assessed.
Now, from what I'm told, the Bakken Formation is a fairly thin formation, about 4,000 to 5,000 feet below the surface. It contains many small pockets of oil. You can drill down through it and come up with nothing. But if you drill in from the side, horizontally, you increase your chances of running into several of those small pockets of oil.
Oil wells using the new technology are already producing encouraging results. A new well sunk last year near Parshall, North Dakota is already making millionaires out of the ranchers living nearby. Officials with the U.S. Geological Survey are being very tight-lipped about the details of the upcoming report. There's obviously a lot riding on news with implications as far-reaching as this, and it's expected that the USGS may actually underplay the amount of oil that's there. But if the Bakken oil fields produce anywhere near the estimates, it could be an economic bonanza for the Northern Plains and for South Dakota.
Billionaire Harold Hamm very optimistic about the Bakken, and having just gotten back from North Dakota myself, spending some time in Williston, North Dakota, which is considered ground zero for the energy boom, I can understand why Harold is betting big on all that black gold and why his company, Continental Resources, is the most active operator in the region. I do want to bring him in. Harold Hamm, Chairman and CEO of Continental Resources. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Carol.
You are optimistic about the Bakken, and I think the number that's out there is about 24 billion barrels.
Yeah, barrel oil equivalent. That's exactly right.
In about 10 years.
Yeah, in about 10 years.
Is that?
Well, it may take more than that to develop it, but you know, it's going to take a long time to develop it. But you know, the resources there that we will recover.
And you guys are really, really active. I'm curious, Harold, though, are you kind of maybe even conservative in that number?
Well, we came out with that number about a year ago right now, October 12th of 2010. And there's been a lot of things happen since that time. I think the most exciting one is actually at that time we were just drilling the top of the Three Forks formation, which underlies the second Bakken shale. Mm-hmm. And since then, we've taken a number of cores down anticline, and we found out that a lot of this area is saturated all the way through the Three Forks to the base of the Three Forks down to the Nisku. And so there's a lot more oil-saturated rock there than we first thought. 24 billion barrels, I think, is conservative at this point. You know, we estimated it would take 48,000 wells to fully develop it.
Right.
And if we have to drill each one of these benches separate, there's 4 benches in the Three Forks now, and we've tested the second one already. And if we have to drill wells in all those, certainly that number's going to go up.